Welcome to Beyond Death, where we examine near-death experiences from people who say they have died, visited the other side, and returned. Today's near-death experience comes from Merridith H, who states she died during childbirth and recalls speaking with a supreme being before returning. Let's get into it. I have been out of my body 400 to 600 times by conservative estimation. Only part of that number are OBE in this dimensional plane of existence. Many are what would be considered an NDE because of the location of where I traveled to, but without me physically coming near death. This, however, is the story of what happened the first time I ever left my body, consciously aware, and is the only time I actually came very close to dying. I went to the hospital to deliver my baby, who was 2 weeks overdue. My mom came with me, and the doctor broke my water to induce the labor. I immediately threw up all over the floor, and within an hour of going into labor, my child was born. About 2/3 of the way through the delivery, I stopped breathing. The delivery was happening so fast that they couldn't give me any drugs for the pain. The pain became so intense that I literally came out of my body. The moment I ejected from my body, it stopped breathing. My body was lying there dying, but I was no longer in it. The moment I ejected from my body, it was too bizarre to even put into words. The best way to sort of explain it is imagine suddenly finding yourself floating in the air in a room and looking down, seeing your body laying lifeless. That's what I experienced. My first realization was that I was floating and not standing on my feet. I felt completely weightless, with no gravity to hold me down. The second thing I noticed is that I felt completely at peace, which was never the case before at that point in my life. I never had any real peace before that. But I felt completely at peace in that moment, and wasn't scared at all. The third thing I noticed is that being out of my body felt normal and not strange at all. It was as if some part of me unconsciously remembered life without a physical body. It was like being out of my body was my natural state, and being in my body was unnatural. That's very much how it felt to me. I looked down at my body and saw the nurse running panicked out of the room to get equipment. I saw the doctor look up from between my legs, and he was screaming at me to breathe. I saw my mother sobbing uncontrollably while holding my hand. She was quietly saying, "Breathe, Mary, breathe." She was pleading with me to breathe. Then I looked up and around the room. It was very dark. I saw no light except where my body was. Otherwise, I was completely surrounded in darkness. I was baptized when I was 12 and accepted Christ as my Lord and Savior, but I was never a Christian, so I had no expectations of what I would encounter out of body. I had some awareness that God was watching me throughout my life, and I began speaking in tongues spontaneously after my water baptism. But that was it. That was my limit of what I knew of anything spiritual or supernatural. I looked up at the ceiling and became curious to know if I could fly through the ceiling and leave. I don't know why I wanted to do that. I was just very curious, and I was already out of body. So impossible wasn't a word in my vocabulary at that moment. But the moment I decided to fly out of the room, someone entered the room with me. I could not see who it was, but in retrospect, I think it was an angel or Jesus. At the time, though, I had no idea who it was. I just felt his presence enter the room and slowly come towards me. Using telepathy, the being started speaking to me. "You have to go back inside your body. It's not your time to go yet," he said to me. Disappointed, I responded, "I want to fly up there and see what's on the other side of the ceiling." "No, you have to go back. It's not your time." I got indignant and stubborn about the whole thing. I told him, "Well, now that I'm out of my body, I want to stay out of my body. I don't want to go back. People are mean and unloving, and all they do is hurt each other. You can't make me go back." So now I'm arguing with God about whether I'm allowed to die or not, which is kind of funny if you think about it, because I hated my life on earth so much that I was willing to fight about them sending me back. He said, "No, We can't force you to go back. But if you don't, your daughter will be raised without any parents. Do you want that for your child? I never knew the sex of my child when I was pregnant. I am also a child abuse survivor. I remember bowing my head and sighing when he said that to me. And I replied, "No, I don't want that for any child, especially not my own." He continued, "So you see you have to return and raise your child. And if you do, I promise you no one will ever hurt you like they did before. If you agree to go back, I promise you that you will have a good life and you won't regret making that choice to return." So I agreed to go back, but not because of the promises made to me. People broke too many promises they made to me, so I didn't trust this promise. I agreed to go back because of the selfless love that I had for my unborn child. I did not want her to suffer in life as an orphan or go without a mother's love. He said, "Good. Now hurry and get back inside your body because you are running out of time." I looked at my body lying there lifeless. It was not breathing and a few minutes had passed with no breath. But I told him, "Okay, I will, but I don't know how to get back in my body." He said, "Just focus on your body. Look at it and stay focused on it. Then visualize in your mind that you are going back inside your body. Visualize you doing it. It will work. Now hurry. There is no time." I did what he said, but nothing happened. I started to panic and I yelled at him, "It's not working." He replied, "Keep doing it. It will work." So I focused even harder and kept visualizing myself returning to my body. Then I felt a slight tug at my belly, pulling me just a few inches toward my body. I kept focusing and visualizing, and the tug got stronger, dragging me a few feet back towards my body. All of a sudden, I went speeding, faster than light, and slammed hard into my body. Then I was back inside, trapped inside my body. But I couldn't take a breath. I said, "I forgot how to breathe." He was still there in the room with me. He said, "Just focus and visualize taking a breath, the same as before. Visualize it in your mind." Then after a few moments, I took a deep breath and opened my eyes. I was awake, and the voice speaking to me was gone. I gave birth to my baby. I was in the hospital for 3 days in recovery. I had no memory of the childbirth, leaving my body, or talking to a divine being. I went home and carried on with my life. A few weeks or a month after I came home, I was sitting on the sofa folding laundry, and I started having flashbacks of giving birth. I started having weird memories of being out of body and talking to someone. I had such a confused look on my face, and I stared at the wall telling myself that these memories made no sense. I just stared at the wall completely gobsmacked. Then I reached over and picked up the phone and called my mom. I asked her, "Hey, Mom, did something bad happen to me during childbirth? I'm having memories that I stopped breathing." Mom said, "Yeah, we almost lost you, Mary. You stopped breathing for several minutes and I was very upset, crying, but I was so relieved when you started breathing again." "Okay, thank you. I didn't remember that until just now." I hung up the phone and my eyes went really big because if my memory of almost dying was true, then the rest of my memories of childbirth are also true. Being out of body, the argument on the ceiling, all of it. The link to this original near-death experience post is listed in the description and includes a question and answer portion following it. Drop a comment below letting me know your thoughts on this NDE. And as always, stay blessed.